estate commission checks to purchase the property. And what I mean by that is I was born ADHD. Like my brain cannot retain information. I'm not some genetic freak when it comes to running, when it comes to lifting weights. I am absolutely the bottom of the barrel. And people will never believe me. And they can just, whatever, believe what you want to believe. So when you ask me this question about what does studying look like for me, I have to go over the same page over and over and over and over again. While Jennifer can look at that page while she's, quizzing me, she'll learn it right then as she doesn't know anything about it. She will quiz herself or quiz me and learn it as she's quizzing me. It's the most frustrating thing in the world how my brain works. So what I do is I literally sit there with a pen and paper and I have my books and I go through, have to write. Woo! Good morning, dreamers. Rise and shine. Happy Monday. Fresh start to the week, getting into the beginning of a new month, and we are officially have crossed the line into the beginning of summer of separation. So I'm fired up, fam. I know there's a lot of amazing things that are here and on the way coming into this season of June. So it is time to go ahead and capitalize and make the most of these months while most are going out to the summer parties, most are going out and playing. This is the time that really separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. So it's time to go ahead and get into today. We are back in action. Today's topic is going to be a great one. This one is going to be perception is reality. So great topic coming in for today. Cedric in the building. Johnny, it's good to see you. Dreamers, hope everybody is feeling good and vibrating high. And as always, what is your word for the month? I always like to have a word for the month coming in to really just have a focus, to really get things aligned into these next couple weeks ahead. Cedric, let's go. Nibs, it's good to see you. Cedric got in his 100 sit-ups. I love to see it. Let's go. So here we go. Let me get IG tapped in, and we are going into today's topic. Love it, love it. Perception is reality. This is a good one. Here we go. What are you guys grateful for coming in today? Drop it down below. Let's get the chat rocking and rolling. And IG is here. Yes, here we go. IG, it's good to see you guys. Hope you all had a phenomenal weekend. A lot of amazing things have been going down. The DMs have been getting blown up. I know you guys have been curious about what is happening for the summer. Stay tuned because we have a lot planned and coming up. So grateful to see you guys. Grateful for God. Grateful for the team. Thankful for all of the momentum that's coming in all areas. All of the growth, all of the daily disciplines that I see is adding up. Shout out to Mike that just got locked in, already went through the academy, already got his store up and running, already have products out there. It's just a matter of time before these ka-chings start coming in. So proud of you guys. Good stuff. Let's get into it. So today's topic is going to be perception is reality. And it's really interesting because this is a topic that we got earlier. And it's so interesting when you really start to realize how everything plays a role, because it's so true, right? Just like Sadhguru, whatever we choose waking up, choosing joy or choosing misery, either way, we get to go ahead and really make a decision of how we get to live our life. So I had a topic for today, and this is something that I've been thinking about getting on here for a little bit, but here's just the truth, right? At the end of the day, most people are lost. There's a reason why it takes most. Think about it. For many of us, when we think about dream cars, why do most of the time before really millennials, we're so used to seeing people with 70, 80 years old. Now they finally maxed out their life, but the problem is they're too old to even be able to go ahead and spend it. Here we go. Got a call coming in. All right, here we go. So what I want to get into is what if we could compress time frames?
What if we could do what somebody does in a couple of years? What if we could do that in the next handful of months, in the next 6 months? I know it sounds crazy, but this is what you start to realize when you get around 1%ers. They look at time a lot different. Meaning, imagine the work ethic that we could do in 6 months. What if we compressed it into a month's time frame? How do we go ahead and accomplish something like that? Well, first things first, what goal do we want to go ahead and hit for the summer? Let's go ahead and get that organized first. Do we want to go ahead and drop a certain amount of weight? Do we want a certain number of income inside of our trading account? A certain number withdrawn? A certain number of products sold inside of our store? I think the first thing is really getting clear. Because the moment that we get clear, the moment that we can start to identify what are the actions, what's the state, what's the feeling that we're actually looking for. Because we don't need to wait until we get to the destination to have the feeling. That's one of the worst things that I've realized along the way. Because you know what happens? Think about it, if we're waiting for the moment that we finally get to our goals to feel happy, you know what happens? Humans are like, we're creatures of habit. And the way that we work is the way that we get something, we're always looking for the next best thing. That's how we're designed. So this is what happened with goals. And I've seen so many individuals, they finally get to the goal. And you know what happens? They stop doing all of the work, everything that it took to actually get to that point. And you know what the perception becomes? I don't need to do anything anymore. I've already made it. I've already got it. Why do I need to keep developing myself? Why do I need to keep being a student? Why do I need to keep taking notes? And you know what happens almost 99% of the time? The income goes up and it drops and it flops. Think about it. There's so many different niches that we can look at where you see this happen all day long. Think about professional athletes, right? Professional athletes, they make a ton of money, but we can go back and look at history. So many of them blow it. You know why? Because a lot of it came down to their perception. I don't need to build my relationship with my creator. I don't need to build my relationship with my family. I don't need to build my relationship with my emotions. And that perception became reality. Eventually that money ended up getting disappeared. It ended up getting blown on things that were liabilities and not assets, because it all came down to perception. What goes up must come down. So it's interesting to think about that no matter what happens in life, everything is going to come down to the way that we see things. Mina gave a great training last night. Everything that happens in life, nothing is good, nothing is bad. It is what? It's what we make of it. So what if every problem, what if every burden that was happening in our life, we could turn into a blessing? We could turn into a lesson. Think about it. If we're trading and we go out, we take a loss in the markets, remember this. Trading involves risk, and risk means potential loss. So at the end of the day, we're going to lose money in the markets. We're going to lose money investing into ourselves. But Jim Rohn also says this: if we don't take the risks in life, wait until we get the bill for not taking the risks. But here's the powerful part. Every time that we take a risk, every time that we invest our money, we're utilizing this knowledge. It's only a loss if we don't learn from it. You see, that's one of the coolest things I saw about trading. At the beginning, I was like, man, I'm taking these losses. I don't know what to really make of it. And my mentor said, he said, if you pay attention, every loss that you take, you can learn something. Maybe you over leveraged. Maybe you weren't following your trading plan. Maybe you didn't have a good risk to reward ratio. And as I started to go ahead and lose more trades, over leverage, didn't have good risk management, well, guess what? That ended up leading to me becoming a better trader, because I learned how to use risk management. I learned how to find good ratio trades, 1 to 3s. And I learned how to not have myself move the market, but let me just pinpoint where I'm going to get in, and let me wait till it hits my spots, and then I'm going to execute my trades. Instead of trying to manipulate the market, let me play off what the market gives me. Perception. And life is the exact same way. Trading is such a great mentor with life, because just like trading, the moment that we try and manipulate life exactly how we want it, you know what life does? it laughs. It throws all of these curveballs. If we don't know how to react, if we don't know how to learn from some of the losses that we take, it's easy to keep repeating them and going in that same cycle of, man, why does this never work out for me? Why can't I ever win any trades? Why does it seem like I'm going down this downward spiral when it's all right here? If somebody's not joining your business, if trades aren't going your way, if it seems like life is lifing, whatever we frequently think about determines our frequency. So whatever we're thinking about frequently determines our frequency. So even if life seems like it's lifing, even if the trades aren't going everywhere, even there could be a million things going on. But the moment that we literally let that emotion sit into our feelings and we start complaining, we start blaming, we start complaining about why nothing's working in our favor, this is exactly why they say Murphy's Law. One thing after the next. It's not that it's one thing after the next that's happening because you're unlucky. It's because whatever we think about, we bring about. And I'll give you guys a perfect example. Here's a perfect example for you. Ready? Y'all ever been holding like a glass, maybe like a full glass or a full plate that you've been going to carry to somebody? And in your head, before you get to the table, before you go ahead and drop off the drink, you spill it a little bit. Or you might tip the table and it spills. You guys ever done that? Drop a 3 down below if you guys have ever done something like that. Or maybe you were walking in the dark and you're like, don't stub your toe, and you still end up stubbing your toe. Because God, the universe, it doesn't hear don't. It doesn't work like that. All it hears is the frequency. The same thing happens with carrying a tray. If we're thinking of dropping it, odds are there's a good chance that we can drop it. The same thing goes with the business. If we're about to make a phone call, right, to reach out to somebody that's excited learning about what it is that we do, and we don't have the belief ourselves, that frequency is at a low vibration, well, guess what? I can already give you a good idea of where that phone call is going to go. You know why? Perception. Perception is reality. You got to be able to see it before it happens. And here's one of the last things I want to leave you guys with. When I was a child, right? One of the biggest dreams for my father was for me to become a professional kicker, right, in the NFL. Because he was thinking about what's the easiest sport that somebody can go and become a professional athlete in. What's the easiest sport? Think about it. A professional kicker, they take 3 steps, they kick a ball, and they can literally make 6 to 7 figures. Interesting, right? But here's the hardest part about being a kicker. Yes, they only take 3 steps. Yes, they only kick a ball a handful of times out of the year. But you know what's interesting? How much pressure is in that 15 to 20 seconds that they get out on the field, they snap the ball, they take their 3 steps, and they let it go. How much pressure is there with thousands in the stadium? The stadium is booming. It's vibrating. You're thinking a million different thoughts. Think about how much tunnel vision, how much focus, how much vision, how much clarity it takes to be able to just kick one field goal inside of an NFL game that's featured globally all around the news. That's a lot of pressure. But you know what the kicker has to do every single time before they kick the ball? Every time. I know this because I played at a high level. Before they kick the ball, when they take their 3 steps back and they're sitting there and they're looking at the football, every single time before they kick it, they physically imagine themselves taking those 3 steps, kicking the ball, and it going straight through the uprights. They visualize it every single time before it even happens, right? They take their deep breath, and then they see it before it happens. They literally walk out the whole scenario. They play the whole thing out before they even take their first step. You guys realize we all have this superpower too. We all can do the same thing. What if we were to visualize that call before it happens? What if we were to visualize that gym session going in, feeling energized, and coming out as a whole new being? How about that next trade that we take? How about that next product in our e-commerce store? Even if 7 of them flopped, that next one could be the one that literally wins the Super Bowl. You never know. But it all comes down to perception is our reality. If we're somebody that loses a couple trades, say, you know what, this is never going to work for me. We put out a couple different products and we start complaining and say, no, this is not for me. That's just perception. Because if you understood that you and I literally could be 3 feet from gold. You guys know that story, the 3 feet from gold story. Somebody spent all this time, all this energy, all this money, and they quit 3 feet from gold. And somebody else ended up buying their machinery, went that extra 3 feet, and found one of the biggest gold mines ever in history. So would you guys rather be the person that puts in all the work and quits right before they figure out their greatness? Or would you rather be the person to go ahead and dig those extra 3 feet to go ahead and really see the gold that lies for every single one of us? Because half the battle is right here. Everybody always says it. The hardest part about making 6 or 7 figures was not doing the action. It was believing that it could happen for you and I. So I believe for this summer right here, if we have that peace, the belief, the confidence, the self-esteem to know that we can absolutely go out and 10x every aspect of our life, the doors are wide open. So if that's you, family, let me see some 5s down below. Smash that like button, because I'm not just talking it. I'm going to walk this journey right along with you, fam. It's time to be bold. It's time to be uncomfortable. It's time to go ahead and stretch out the box, because I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm ready to go ahead and unleash the greatness that's within. I'm tired of sitting and playing small. There's never been a better time to go after our greatness than right here, right now. So, fam, I'm with you guys. Let's go out and make it happen. Anything you need, we're here for you every step of the way. The leaders are leading by example in all different areas. So don't be afraid to reach out, whether that's with the mindset, spiritual side, physical, financial. We're here for you. We got your back, fam. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. June is the month for jumping to new levels. Get ready, fam. Let's go out and turn these dreams into reality. It's game time. Let's get to work.